Game number 3, let's go! We did say we're going to try something different every game, so we're going to try and start with a recurve. Don't get it, so we'll get no choice, I guess. It's even better. Show what you do with a terrible start, I guess. So previous two games actually were both first place finishes. We're still at a very low elo. In at silver 3 now I got promoted to, I think, or it might have been silver 2. But yeah, coming off the back of having played a underground reroll comp, and then following that into, it was initially meant to be a spellslingers comp, but I transitioned it into a heart spellslingers with Soraka and Yumi carrying. And they were very straightforward games. I mean, they were both in bronze elo. I'm not expecting anything particularly crazy. This might be the first game where I actually have to think. Now, already, I'm kind of looking at stuff, so Jinx, I'm sorry, you suck too much for me to care about you. I'm just thinking about some potential synergies here already. So we've already got two mascots, well, two of the same mascot, should I say. Picked up a giant spell, got another giant spell here. We do have a mix of stuff. We do have Duelist and potential Laser Core in play, which I'm a big fan of both of these, so we are going to pick up another mascot to actually play, and two of them. I'm going to drop the Talon though, as I don't particularly like playing Renegades. It's one of the comps that I don't tend to play a lot. But we will see how the next collection goes. If we can pick up some 3-cost units off these minions, then that might dictate the direction we go. If not, we'll just sit and see. We could have had 2-star Jinx. I think Jinx is just going to go in the bin. We will see what we get off this. Oh, now this is a bit difficult because I don't think Band of Thieves is good unless you've already got the thing that directs your Thieves' Gloves. I think this is too RNG. I think you just take the Ludens and don't worry about it. Like, this is applicable more into like Zoe comps, but I think just taking Ludens is never bad. So we do also have this, which is quite nice, and we also have a potential for a Yumi. So I am going to put this in play, and we're going to play some sort of a weird, think like heart mascot maybe? We could just play this into a Yumi play. I don't want to be that guy. But we'll see. We'll see. If it falls my way, I'll just play it. Like, I don't particularly care, but having the Galio is quite nice here because the Luden's also giving us bonus damage from everyone casting more often. And the 2 hearts are also ramping, right? So do they execute the Lux out? Or only just no. That's a shame, but it's fine. The only reason I leveled up here as well, I will say this, normally I think in that situation I wouldn't have leveled, but because we hit the 2-star Lulu, I think it's just worth grabbing that level 4, because we have 3 mascot, 2 heart in play, and a civilian, right? So there's a lot of synergy in and amongst this, so I don't think it's wrong to level up if you're getting a synergy boost off of it, right? Like, I think that's completely fine. We could put in a Lee here, but I think this plays too much into a sort of super type comp, and I don't really like the idea of it. Kale's definitely going in the bin here because she offers me nothing. We could still pivot this into a Jax build potentially, but we don't really have the items for Jax either. Like, we don't have any recurve bows. We're just playing basically with essentially a Warmogs that I've not built, so my initial thoughts is I play this into a Heart Spellslinger, potentially go into like a Gadgettine with a Zoe carry, because Zoe does a lot with Ludens, and she can just sort of carry you through the mid game. But I think we're not going to be very lucky on this one, so we'll see. We'll see what we pick up. We have a lot of parts of stuff, right? So got 2 Lees, got 1 Renekton, got 2 Luxes. Like, a Spellslinger comp here works just fine, and okay, well, that decides for us then, so this is definitely going to go into a Why can't I think of my words here? This is definitely going into a Spellslinger type of comp. I don't know exactly what yet, but it's going to be Spellslinger-esque. We're ditching these now because we're definitely not heading that way. We're definitely not playing into the mascots. So, at least we're not playing heavier into the mascots, should I say. We're picking up the mascots for the early game because they're quite good carries, or quite good tanks, should I say. Especially this 2-star Galio. He's going to be quite innately tanky just from his regen. So, we could have put an item on him already, but the thing is with Giants belts, if you saw the last game that I'm going to upload, which is the Heart Spellslinger comp, you'll see how much I like ZZ Rots. I'm just a big fan of ZZ Rot Balls. I just think that people don't build them enough, and they're very, very good, especially against things like Yuumi reroll. Just give her so many targets that it's a real pain for her to hit what she actually needs to hit, and you just win because she doesn't find the correct targets. So I'm a big, big fan of ZZ Rods. We're going to scout a lot more, though, in this game compared to previous games, because we're actually at a not too bad elo here. It's a shame he took that. I wouldn't mind having the Zoe either, but I don't think I can get a chance at it. I think I'm just going to have to take the Giants belt and be happy. And this is fine. Like, I mean, this is going to make my Annie huge, right? She's going to have Warmogs plus another Giants belt, so she's already going to be really tanky even as a 1-star. We've already got the Alistair in play. We're going to level off this Carousel to 5 so we can start finding some bigger stuff, but Annie's already coming in play. This is really nice. Do not mind this. We put the mascots either side of the Annie, and Annie's just going to get juiced. Level 1 Annie with 1700 HP, look at that. We'll pick up the LeBlanc because she's just decent. I don't think there's any reason not to. The only thing that kind of sucks here is I'm sort of halfway between two builds, right? So it's a similar situation to what I found myself in last time, where I had the hearts and I have the Spellslingers. Which do I go for? Hard decision, really, and hard to say before we see other stuff. I mean, this Annie's quite good, so she probably doesn't need the Galio supporting. She's got a lot of regen just from the mascots, but the civilian is giving the hearts a lot of generation here, so I think the answer to this is going to be whatever we naturally pick up in the next 2 rounds will dictate the direction that I start taking. If we start finding a lot more things, like Nyla's not bad, and Nyla's quite a good inject to have with the Galio. Well, when I say with the Galio, I mean with the Annie and with the Lulu and with the Yuumi. Especially when we hit to 6, I might just pick this up actually. Because I just don't think, like, LeBlanc doesn't actually fit naturally into any comp. She's more built for buffing Z comps than she is for actually doing her own thing. So I think having the Nyla here, and then when we push into 6, we'll get the Locks in play with the Nyla. The Nyla replaces out the Galio, and then you have the Nyla in between the 2 Ox Forces. They heal quite a lot. They'll also still have the mascot in play, and you'll also have 3 Star Guardian. So there's a lot going on with that, but you pick up essentially 3 traits, and you lose just the civilian 1, which isn't, you know, the end of the world by any means, but having the double Spellslinger in play, the Star Guardian in play, it's just, I think it's too much to pass up. And I'm a really big fan of doing the Nyla, Annie, Alistair frontline. It just has a lot of innate tankiness, a lot of healing, a lot of even damage in it, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I just really like it. I really enjoy playing it. The only problem is that we don't have any carry items yet, though, so I'm not hard locking to this, and certainly if we pick up something which is like a recurve bow plus needlessly large plus another recurve bow off this, although we do pick up that, which I believe... Woohoo! That's interesting. Yeah, if we picked up like double recurve bows, I might even transition, and actually, oh... Ugh. I am very tempted. What am I talking about here? So basically I'm very tempted to play into the Duelist Recon build. Although, because the thing is, Duelist Recon works even with a Jeweled Gauntlet, because Kai'Sa scales really well off the Jeweled Gauntlet. The only thing here is, I'm just looking at what I've already got. Ugh, this is a really tough decision. I think maybe I'll just wait for my augment. I'm not 3-starring the lock, so I can just sell that, keep my 4 interest going. I'll see what the augment is. I think the augment's going to decide for me which way I take this. Like, these 5, well, minus the Alistair, these 4 are all parts of a standard Duelist Recon comp. It's extremely strong, and because a lot of people at this elo just blind play like Yuumi carries and Yuumi rerolls because they think it's basically God's gift to the earth. It's really not, by the way. Like, Yuumi's decent, but she's not unstoppable, and she's definitely not unbeatable by any stretch of the imagination. People just really want to complain about nothing these days. Like, she's probably annoying because people just don't know how to play against her, but I'm really thinking I'd push this. We'll see what this augment is, but if this augment gives me, I think, either the Vayne buff or... okay. That's interesting, because the first aid kit's quite good with Annie and Alistair. We also get the increased healing from the mascots. If we play this as well into Talia, which is what we probably will do, because I said I was going to do it last game. Yeah, I'm going to play the first aid kit. We're playing this first aid kit, and we're going to play into a Talia build, which feels a bit awkward to do when you've already got such good, you know, potential here, but it's just... I think you can't really pass this up whenever you see it. And now switching this in, we'll put the Lulu out on her own. Yeah, I just think... In my opinion, whenever you've got the ability to play for a Talia, you really should. We're not going to slam the Jeweled Gauntlet yet, though, because Talia really wants to have a Hextech Gunblade. It gives a lot of healing to your front line, and even though this front line has a lot of healing in it, between the Annie and the Nyla, which is, by the way, why I picked up the first aid kit, is because Annie's giving the extra shielding, Nyla's doing the increased healing. It's just a very solid front line now, right? The thing is, though, people, I think, undervalue it as an augment generally, because they see it as being too weak and not strong enough to really compete in against a lot of the other augments. Things like, you know, Celestial Blessing, which a lot of people take, Thrill of the Hunt, you know, things which just give you smaller damage boosts, and I think I had Knife's Edge there as well. But the thing is, what is Knife's Edge doing in my comp? Even if I was to play into a, like, reroll Kai'Sa build, or a Duelist Recon build, or something like that, like, I'm not frontlining my Recons, right? So, Knife's Edge does what? It gives my Rammus, Cho'Gath, Zac, and Nyla some AD? Like, I don't care. So... people really undervalue the shielding, and now we're playing actually 2 augments which do play really well into a Spellslinger's comp, and because we haven't yet seen an augment either, this is a really low roll lobby, like a very low roll lobby. So having things that just synergize well will work significantly better than me trying to play, you know, some mega endgame comp that's, you know, essentially going to do basically nothing. So play into your synergies. These two work very well together because of the units that benefit from them, right? The only problem is, though, is that we don't really have any damage. Like, we have no tier, we have no BF. We could slam the Jeweled Gauntlet, but I really want a tier or a BF here. If not, Chainmail maybe? Chainmail's not horrific. Yeah, we're just gonna have to take the Chainmail. We're just going to have to pray that we at least 2-star this Annie. If she's staying as a 1-star, this is going to really suck. Because a 1-star Annie doesn't really tank enough, right? Like, she's not innately tanky as a 1-star. As a 2-star, she's pretty decent. At least until I think she's getting nerfed, potentially tomorrow. But Um, but until that point, we're going to abuse her completely. And I mean that in a legal way, not in a, let's not go there. So, we're gonna, we're going to push in for a Spellslinger's comp. The thing is, this requires you to get to level 8 fairly quickly, but we've got the health at the minute to do it. Everyone else is still playing 1-cost champions with not a great amount of synergy. So he's playing the recon build, so I'm glad I didn't go for that, because it would have put me in a very, very worse position. However, if he's just trying to force it with Illudens, it's a bit of a strange decision. Like, what really procs the Ludens for him? Kai'Sa does, I guess, but not very effectively. Yeah, I'm not sure. The Battle Mage isn't a bad one, though. Like, the Battle Mage Orcman's quite nice. Especially when you're playing that particular build, because you get the Nyla buffed, you get the Cho'Gath buffed. Like, your front line actually does a lot of damage, so it's kind of deceptive, because everyone looks at the recons and thinks, oh, they're going to be the ones that we need to take out. It's like, no, actually, his front line is also smacking you. We're not going to overcommit to rolling here. Like, yes, we've got a nice win streak going, but our team isn't very strong right now. We've only got 2 stars on the Lux and the Lulu, so we're going to play this fairly slowly. We will see what we get off the walls, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully we manage to pick up some more damage items here. It isn't the end of the world if you don't get a tier when playing a Talia, if you go into the Talia Star Guardian build, because she gets enough regen just from having the Star Guardian buff in effect anyway. It just means that you're not going to probably place in first. And it's one of the things as well that people don't realize. You don't have to go for rank 1 every single game that you play, right? Top 4 finishes climb your rating. That's all you need to have is a top 4 finish. So playing towards what strengths you got at the minute. My strength right now is I've got good synergistic augments that work well into a Spellslinger comp, particularly with an Annie frontline. Annie is very juicy right now. Again, PG wise. But we aren't looking here to play anything extravagantly, right? We're not trying to push this into like some mega high level comp. We're not in a very high elo, so we don't have to overthink in terms of where we roll down. Everyone so far that I've played against has had basically no augments that are synergistic, and also they're not actually having any very highly leveled units either, so everything's just like 1 and 2 stars. So that's not going to do a lot for a long time, so there's absolutely no rush. Now, the only question here is, can we make use of the mascot emblem? We could make a mascot Annie if we can 2-star her. That would not be bad. I'm just going to roll once, see what we can see. We're going to have a look around. So this guy's going the Star Guardian. I don't know where he's going, actually. He might be going for a Talia build, it looks like. This guy's playing a Yuumi reroll. This guy's playing Sure Shots. He's going Jax Brawler, but doesn't have a Jax. Interesting. He's going recon build. He's going some kind of Anima squad. Not really sure. This guy's playing in some threats, but I don't think he's actually playing. Oh, is he playing to threats? Actually, no, he is just playing to threats. Wonder if we can kill the Aurelion. Nah. Snipe him, Yuumi. Yeah. Although I think the Sivir is going to do enough. Yeah, she is, just. I'm a bit torn here on what to kind of play into. We're definitely not going to Nyla. Alistar isn't terrible. I do like going LeBlanc with a double Talia. I think the Behemoth is just nice, purely because we end up giving the Alistar additional tankiness. We can play additional frontline. We don't have to use this quite yet either, because we can still pick up other things that are useful into this. Although, really, it's only the admin. It would be nice if I could check this. But certainly if I pick up another Giant's Belt. I think it's just worth me, though, certainly. Wait, did I have my Lux frontlined? Oh, wow. I think it's worth me just dropping a ZZ Rot Portal on the Alistar, because he's going to be part of my frontline anyway. So, this isn't bad to do. The only downside that I'm playing to right now is the fact that I don't have any tiers whatsoever. And because I was win streaking through quite a lot of the early game, it actually detrimented my carousel choices. My Annie is fairly decently tanky here. Again, because of that first aid, like, she's just shielding so much. But these random Yumis in backlines, man, what are they doing? I mean, I know I'm doing the exact same, but it's so annoying to play against. This Kai'Sa's doing work though, but he's trying to play into the Talia. He's already trying to push it, and he's already picked up 2. But the thing is, he's already rolled down completely, so he's going to really struggle compared to me to find these, because I'm going to hit my level 8 on the next round, straight after Carousel, and I've still got a lot of health to work with, whereas he's kind of been forced to roll down. Oh my gosh, someone just hit a 3-star Yuumi already. But yeah, we're not completely fussed here. About whether or not we lose the next round, right? Like, our intention is entirely to try and play into... Wait, why have I not picked this up? I should have picked this up. That's my bad. But our intention is entirely to try and play into the Talia build. We already kind of have parts of it, but we might also be semi-forcing here. I didn't have to necessarily play this, but I just think the augments are too strong, and especially when we've got the Alistar healing as well, and we have that Annie in the front line. The only issue I'm going to run into though is that my front line is going to start falling quite short, purely because I don't have a 2nd or 2-star Annie. I do have a 2-star Alistar, I just didn't pick it up because I'm a scrub. We really want to get either a tier or a BF off of this. Either is good. Doesn't really matter which, but we want one of the two. For sure. We could even pick up, actually, this isn't bad. We'll see what he rolls for. Oh, he doesn't go for it, okay. So we're picking up the tier. We can see how we play this in. We could play this into a... I can never remember the name of it. I always call it Rod of Ages, but it's not Rod of Ages. Archangel Staff, that's the one. But, again, no particular necessity for it. Here we pick up a whole bunch of upgrades, which is very, very nice. We could put the admin in, which would be... Well, not the admin, sorry, the Soraka in, which would be interesting, but I don't think it offers a lot. We do also, though, have the Heart Emblem potential. I'm going to pick it up, and then we'll see what happens when we start rolling down a bit. We're not going to aggressively roll here because we've got a lot of health to work with, so there's no necessity for us to try and, you know, mega force this. This guy is going to be mega scary to deal with later, purely because he's already hit a 2-star Jax. He's got the Jax upgrade as well. The only thing is, though, he's playing with the Brawler Heart, not with the Brawler Emblem, so he's not going to be as strong as otherwise he would have been. So this isn't as scary as I would otherwise suggest it would be. One thing that we could do here would be quite interesting actually, though, is play into a Zoe, a Heart Zoe. If we can pick up a tier on the next round. Yeah, I think we hold... Do we hold 1 round? Yeah, we hold 1 round. I think playing a Heart Zoe here, and this is a little bit greedy, but playing a Heart Zoe with a potential for a blue buff would be really, really nice. The only problem here that we have, though, is that we don't really have a lot of frontline damage against people that are like, especially this guy who's just gone like full. I like how he managed to force force the Yuumi build off of a Nyla augment, which is, yeah. I mean, it technically does play off the Star Guardian Supers build, but it's... I just don't think that when you get to the later game, unless you have the Yuumi augment, it doesn't do enough damage. So it ends up just flat falling behind in a lot of circumstances. And it's very hard to recover it. I'm going to pick up the Soraka and we're going to see what we get off here. And then we're going to play very aggressively because we don't have a lot of health left. We've got basically 2 lives left, maybe 3. I I've played this very greedily for a comp that basically has no items, right? But we will see. Certainly if we can pick up a BF sword here, then we just slam into the Talia. If we can pick up a Tyr, then we probably go into a Zoe. That Brawler's Glove really sucks though. It's rather unfortunate. I'll explain why in 1 second. We do pick that up. We do get a Tyr. Very, 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 very tempting. Do we just play it in? I think we do. Yeah. Nah, we're sending it. So I said I wasn't going to play same comp again, but I lied. So why exactly have I made this decision? Few reasons, although we do pick up a Leona as well. One, Zoe's not contested, right? I've not seen anyone contesting Zoe at all. I've been slow to just like upgrade this, but whatever, that's on me. So Zoe will cast a lot. We can shove random items onto like this Zac, and then we just play full hearts in the backline. We can actually ditch out the Annie in favor of the Zac because there's loads of health now on that front line with how many Warmogs I picked up early. And the hearts should carry it through. So the play is going to be to essentially transition this entirely. We're already holding a lot of other hearts, so this should be fairly easy for us to get into. We're going to take this out because we don't need it. We pick up the Gadgettine, which is nice. We also pick up an Ionic, which for now will rest on the Annie. We're going to switch in the Echo at some point, but I don't know for what as yet. We're not pushing the Sona to 3-star. We might try and push the Alistar to 3-star because we've already got 2 down anyway. I think I should just be putting this onto my Soraka and committing with this already. I hate when this bug happens. Just can't target your own units, it's great. Can I slam it? There you go. Don't know if it's just an issue with Zac's unit model size, but I had it happen quite a few times before. But yeah, no, we're going to be playing into a 5 heart comp essentially, is the plan here. Or 6 heart, sorry, not 5 heart. It should, in theory, out-damage a lot of the other players who have already rolled down, but we're going to be forced to roll down here, because we're just simply not strong enough, right? We need to really hit quite a few things here. Particularly, we're looking for our Sorakas. The Zoes are also quite nice. We can pick these up as they go along. We're not looking for that. We can pick up more of these. We get the Soraka. Get another Soraka if we can find. We're not going to try and 3-star the Sona. We don't need it. We're essentially now looking just to get, and we should have stabilized here, by the way. I'd be surprised if this isn't stabilized. It might not be though, although it would help if I had this on someone, right? There you go. Maybe the Animus squad just beats me. It's actually quite cool this, what he's trying to do, which is with the pranksters in the front line, but the question is whether or not it heals enough. Because yeah, this is the problem whenever you play against a Soraka player. Like, if you have no healing into your backline, eventually she's just going to slap you down. And if I can get a Syndra in play here, then this is pretty much just game already. I really could do with having a permanent Giant Slayer. I don't see one, so I need slightly more of a front line. I think either the ZZ Rot or the Gargoyles is good. I'm going to pick up the Gargoyle here, just because it's my personal preference. I think either one's fine. I think ZZ Rot, if I'm trying to push for a first, is okay, because the Annie's going to fall off on here. But again, I am planning to replace out this Annie. I'm not planning to keep her in. The only reason why I'm still holding on to her is for synergistic reasons with the Ox Force here. We can push this here. Oh, I did say I wasn't going to try and 3-star the Sona, but I don't think I hold on to... We're just trying to get the 3 stars here. That's all we're trying to do. There we go, that's one of them. That's very nice. And maybe we just give her Quicksilver. We might wait and see. We should survive. Although it is a Yuumi reroll player, but he's going to have a lot of stuff to deal with. Between the Zax, the ZZ Rot. That's sort of my point with the ZZ Rot, how people just undervalue it, but 3-star reroll. Yuumi might just be too strong slightly. Oh, although Soraka might just tear through her. Soraka too strong, man. Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to try and tell, I think, when you stabilize playing a comp like this, but definitely once I've got the blue buff, this feels a lot safer. We're not caring too much here for other parts of this puzzle, bar the Alistar, I think. Although we could push in. I mean, if you pick up something strong, might as well take it, right? The only thing here, though, and I'm a bit sus on, is whether or not I give Zoe Quicksilver. I think I should just do it. Giving her more casts off just from the attack speed is definitely going to be very useful. And the Zoe plus Soraka synergy, which I did 2 games ago, kind of demonstrated this a lot. They just scale so well together. They absolutely obliterate front lines. Especially if you hit the 3-star on the Zoe. She's just a monster. She doesn't really need any items. She just needs to be damaging stuff. We do get lucky with the Lulu as well. I may need to BRB. Okay, so now I am mega griefing myself, having ordered food. I'd forgotten about it. Can we play stuff quick enough? Can't we manage to win whilst completely AFK? We'll shove the spring loaded onto the Soraka just so she gets some distance. What do we want up in our front line? Oh, the Morellonomicon on the Zoe is huge. That is huge. I just don't know if it's going to be enough to hold up against the Yuumi though now, because she's kind of scaled ahead of us quite a bit. But we'll take a third if we lose here. Oh! We survive! So, yes, we are just going to try and push the Alistair. We're not trying to do anything else here. It would have been very nice if we could pull another heart in, but we don't find any at all, which is just rather unfortunate. Like, can't even find a Lee Sin, but that's fine. I think for against Huskies, we're just going to spread slightly. Really, I think I should have abandoned this Annie already, but unfortunately I had to go answer the door. But we're still going to top 3 finish either way. Is the Anima Squad guy? Jesus. Anima Squad pranksters. New meta. I suppose it's the old meta, actually. It's the original stuff that people used to play. I don't know if we've got enough to take this out, though. We might do, we might not do. Ah, we do. Still just looking for one Alistair. If we can find one on the carousel, that would be very nice. And we get a top 2 finish anyway, so we don't particularly care here. If the Yuumi reroll wins, it just wins. We're just looking for slightly more innate tankiness. So Sunfire Cape here helps quite a bit, helps with the reduction of his healing as well on his front line. In fact, actually, might the Janna... This might sound crazy, because they're Ox forces, and it kind of stops them getting one-shot, but I think this is correct. I think we just play out the Annie, and... Oh, that really sucks. No, I changed my mind. Get the Alistair back in play. There we go. And we're just going to absolutely load up this. And see, he's thinking, oh, I've Zephyr'd out the Soraka. Don't care. This is Zoe's night, boys. Maybe having the Oxbox in place was correct. I don't know. Maybe Soraka can just one-shot the whole team, but I doubt it. Yeah. The Yuumi reroll just got too strong, and unfortunately, because I had to go answer the door, I don't know what I missed. I'll review it on the rewatch. But that was an interesting one for sure. I'm not going to make a lot of comments on this game. We got 2nd place. That's all we needed to keep it going. Yeah, there was a lot of scuffed stuff in this game, so it be what it be. We'll pick up in the next one, but this gets us up to Silver 2 now. We were at Silver 3 on the previous one, so yeah, thanks for watching. We'll keep it going.